Morning, Rob.
Morning, Lee.
Morning.
Did you have a good weekend?
I did, thanks. It's Monday morning. We've just had our sprint planning for the week and going on what we're doing. A lot of the a lot of the hexceed stuff for my side of stuff is tied up in terms of the packs ready to go, more or less. There's some small stuff like the achievements and some of the in-game descriptions he's doing, but other than that, it's ready. Bob is done with the hexceed on the Switch for now. Going to be moving on to...
Yeah, I'm going to give that a break for this week. So there's a few bugs that need fixing for the update that we need to drop for PC this week. So because we need to drop an update for the DLC that we're releasing this week. So there's just a few bug fixes and stuff like that that we want to have included in that. So I'm going to be doing that first. And then I need to make a start on the next mechanic for hexceed as well.
Yeah.
Because Lee will be doing a lot of Colour and Pixels work this week. And then after that, he'll need to be making a hexceed DLC with a new mechanic. And we don't have that new mechanic yet, so... Panic?
Yeah, as Rob just said, Patreon poll ends today in terms of what's happening next for Colour and Pixels. So we'll see by the end of today, early tomorrow, what DLC pack I'll be working on. So
hopefully it's one that you have to do a lot of work on.
Yeah, so this morning I've just been fixing a few bugs that have sort of cropped up over the past few weeks while I've been doing, what's it called? This thing? Switch, thank you, Lee. Yeah, I've just been fixing a few bugs that have sort of cropped up while I've been doing Switch support. Most of them have been quite easy fixes. There's a couple that were left over from localization that needed fixing. That all seems fine though. And one of the weird bugs that we come across was for some reason the colour for this new world managed to reset itself. Not quite sure what happened there, but I just managed to fix that again, so now it's all green and blue like it should be. But yeah, I've also been adding a couple of new features, so the main one being this this disable timer button here. So we've got this new setting. What this basically does is on levels where you've got rotating tiles, you've got this timer at the top, and like when you press like highlight down, it pauses and whatnot. But people have been asking if they could disable that completely. So if you press this button now, that bar at the top is just no longer there, and the tiles don't rotate on a timer anymore. So you still can do it if you press R on the keyboard or whatever you've rebound it to. But it just makes the UI a bit cleaner, and it sort of like relieves the stress, I guess, of having a huge timer at the top. So yeah, that's good. I've just been writing up the patch notes for it. In theory, we should also have touch support for this update as well, but I think I'm gonna have to bring the laptop in for that because we don't have any touchscreens while we're in the office. So I'm gonna have to bring my laptop in from home because that's got a touchscreen. Hopefully that should be fine though. It works fine for the Switch, so fingers crossed that'll be fine. I think that's going to be about it, really. I'm going to need to run a quick auto test on all the levels to make sure they're all passable still before we make the update live. But then I think we're good for this update. Then we can move on to the new mechanic. Ooh, spooky.
Lee, we've got the whiteboard up. We do? Finally?
Finally, yeah. We said we were going to do it last week, but yeah, it's a bit bent. It got a bit bent in the move. You can see on the left there, it's a bit. So yeah, sticking to the wall has been quite difficult. Hopefully.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
Hopefully it'll be alright. Yeah, so it's just after 5 o'clock. I'm thinking about clocking off about now-ish. I've just spent the rest of the afternoon finishing off this update. I think I'm pretty much there. The main thing I've been doing is I've been adding 3 new languages, I guess, that have been localized by the community. So we've got Klingon, Latin, and New Germanic. I've just been going through and manually importing all of this data. It's been a bit of a faff. But yeah, I think it's pretty much there. Added it to drop down and stuff, done a build. Yeah, I think we're about there. We're gonna have to test this build quite a lot. So we're gonna have to test it on the laptop and on the Mac especially, just to make sure everything's still fine. I think we're about good though. We didn't manage to get the board back up. I think it's just permanently going to be there now. That bend we've got on the side is just too much. It's just not sticking to the wall at all.
Sea monkeys update as well. So they're still going strong. I fed them today, topped up their water as usual on a Monday.
Yeah, I got in a bit late today, so we're recording this after lunch. Been watching Pirates of the Caribbean. What are you doing?
Yeah, so we just had our stand-up just now, and I'm going to be just making a big start on the Golden Pixels pack. As you might see there, there's the Patreon polls selected Ancient Methodology as the pack. That's what we're working on for the next month, for May. And yeah, just making a head start on that. Main goal is going to get the store page ready. So we'll need to get 5-6 images in game, get the screenshots, get everything else, just get it sorted, and get the store page sent off to Steam.
Good stuff. Yeah, and I'm going to be working on new mechanic, which I'm going to try and explain. I guess it's probably a good idea, right? Yeah, new mechanic for hexceed, because I need to have that done before Lee can really start working on that DLC. Yeah, so I'm gonna be starting working on this new hexceed mechanic. So we're calling it big tiles. I think that's the name I've gone for. Not that that means anything to the player, but just for our own internal use. So the idea is that you want to be able to merge hexes together to form larger hexes and them to act as one. So what I'm going to start off with doing is sort of try and get just some patterns to work. So instead of like this hex here, or these 3 hexes here acting as individual ones, they're going to be all linked. So in the center you probably have like a big number, saying something like, oh, there's 2 bombs next to that. So that will cover all of these. Yeah, so that will indicate that there are 2 bombs in the radius of where these red dots cover. And the same thing will happen for larger ones. So say for this hex here, it'll cover all of these blue dots here. That's what we'll look at. And the idea is that these bigger hexes can be bombs as well. So for example, if you've got a hex with just like say like a 1 or something there, then it could mean that this big hex here is a bomb. So there's a lot of work involved to do with this, but try and make as much progress as I can this week on it. The main goal is for me to get it so that Lee can actually start making levels with it and testing it out. And then I'm gonna have to worry about art later, because I think that's gonna be the hardest thing for this mechanic, is actually making it to look nice. So ideally we want it so that if you press in anywhere on this hex, and the whole thing will press in, just to make it as satisfying as possible. Yeah, I think the plan is to start off with a few basic shapes to begin with, and then hopefully if that's all working fine and it looks nice and it's playable and get it working in the auto tester, then I want to have a go at making some irregular shapes, or just making it completely dynamic so that Lee can make as many shapes as he wants, and just make them so that they can like interlink a bit better. So yeah, that's the new mechanic. Hopefully it'll be fun.
It's half 3 now, and I've made some pretty good progress on getting a start on the Ancient Methodology pack. So you can see here I've got 5 different images. Some of these are just sprites, and double check that they're alright. This one seems fine. Some of them I've put things together, so I've found some Roman legions, put that next to the Hydra, mainly because the Hydra was quite basic in its colour palette. And some of these were vector art, which I've drawn over, so hopefully they're alright. Yeah, what I'm doing now is I've just gone ahead and created the book in the editor, and I'm going to go and put all these images into the game and test them out. And yeah, that'll be ready. If these are alright, get some screenshots and make a start on the store page as well.
Yes, I've made a little bit of progress. So what you can do now is I've added this extra tile with just the big B on it. I've done some editor work as well. So if you've got a big tile selected, you get this extra big like directional component that you can set. And that hopefully is how you'll signify that this big tile is connected to another one. Because in theory you could have two big tiles next to each other. I need to be able to distinguish which one is connected to what. So that's why we've got this. I did a little bit of thing, so you can only either have a wall or the big component set, because you can't have a wall going through a tile. I've also spent some time looking at how we're actually going to visualize this. So this is something I've been quite worried about, honestly. I think I managed to get some progress. So yeah, so at the moment now, I've only got it working for this specific orientation of uncovered tiles, but you see we've got this nice little connector almost. It's going to work similar way to walls do, but it's just going to look a bit different, and it'll hopefully match the colours when it's selected.
Yeah, it's a pretty good starting point for today. all the minor stuff within the book is ready, such as getting the background colours and stuff ready for the page that you see if you don't have the DLC. So that's this thing here, when it shows you how long until it's coming out, or when it's out, guide into the store page. Store page has been sent off for approval now as well, so all the icons are done, all the assets, sorry. As you see here, there's one of them there. And yeah, all the minor tasks are all tied away as well. All that's left now is to wait for the store page to come back and to finish up getting the rest of the images. So there's 6 total at the minute, and obviously 20 that we need. I think I'll be doing that tomorrow and the rest of the week.
Lee, it's Music Wednesday!
Music Wednesday!
Yeah, so just had stand up as usual. Today I'm going to be. What am I doing? The new mechanic, yeah. So I'm going to have a first pass at trying to art it, and I'm going to try and make it so that if you hover over and like press in a hex, it does the same for all of the hexes that are connected to it. So it's just sort of to make it feel like it's one button. That's what I'm going to try and get going today. All the numbers will be wrong, but that's
tomorrow's problem.
Yeah. Yeah. What are you doing anyway?
Yeah, so spent this morning doing the YouTube video. That's up and announced and everything. That's ready for the rest of the week. And then I'm going to be working on the rest of the DLC stuff for Clavis. So that's the achievements. I've got the images, going to get them uploaded to Steam. And all the announcements for that as well. And a lot of testing on all the bug fixes that I'll be doing.
Yeah, some QA work on that.
Yeah, just get it all tied away for Friday. And if I get done by the end of the day, I'll make some more progress on the Colin Pixels DLC as well. It's 10 to 1, it's just after lunch. I'm done with everything for hexceed for the day. So you can see here the announcements are all drafted up and scheduled to go out on Friday. Done all the QA testing. There's only a couple of things wrong with that, which is the page on list and scroll should be an easy fix, and there's a weird little bug with the language selection. It's not instantaneous. I actually tick them all. So that's a little thing about to try to fix for Friday. But yeah, everything else is good. Everything else is out, which means the board here is finished up, and all that's left to do is to actually push the build live on Friday. So yeah, now I'm done with that, I'm going to head on to Colin Pixels.
Yes, I've been hard at work trying to make these tiles sort of behave like they're one tile. It's proving to be like a lot of work. There's a lot of systems that this is going to touch. It's going to be all over the game. But yeah, I've made some improvements to the art as well. So when you've got a tile that's linked together, it sort of looks like one tile now. There's no gaps in between. There's a few holes, but I think I'll fix that later. But for now, you can clearly see that this is just one tile. When you hover over, it sort of like moves a little. Then when you press in, it all goes down as well, just like a normal tile. So it's all acting as one now. A few problems. So highlighting, as you can see there, it only highlights the hex that you've got, and even that's a bit glitchy at the moment, which I'm unsure on. So I've got work to do on that. Right clicking works as well, but so it flashes red. But then if you get taken back, there's a problem there. So it only took back that one hex there, and now the rest of these hexes are completely broken now, which is not ideal. But yeah, overall the visual side of things is looking quite good. The hexes look like they're all stitched together. There's still some work to do, so like there's a little bit of shadow here that needs adding in, and that needs adding in for all of the segments. So yeah, just discovering lots of problems really. but we'll get it done. We'll get it done. Yes, I've been cracking on with this. I've been making a suspicious amount of progress. So I'm just like, why isn't it all broken? But one thing I realized is that for these tiles, I actually was only adding like the regular tile, so the ones that were behaving just like your standard tile, and I needed to add bombs as well. So I've gone ahead and done that, and I've done that now. So there's a little extra thing here for Lee to use when he's making levels, and it's going quite well. So the bombs look alright. When you click on a tile that's next to a big tile, it like uncovers it. The entire big tile is uncovered. Which can give you some interesting patterns and stuff. It's just working alright. But yeah, another thing that was surprising was the validator works as well. Well, it seems to work. We'll see.
Just getting ready to wrap up for the day. Just a little update where I've got up to. So with the Colin Pixels book, I've got 2 more images already. So I've got one here which is like St. George and the Dragon, sort of iconography. And then another one, which I quite like, of Zeus. Which is pretty good. Hope you guys like it as well. But yeah, they're both in game now, and they've been give them the once over to make sure there's no obvious problems, but they'll be fully tested before release.
Okay, so it is Thursday, I think. Thursday, yep. It's yes, it's Thursday morning. Lee's just sent me a message. He's not coming in today. He's just feeling a bit naff, which is fine. Hopefully he'll be alright tomorrow. But yeah, so what I'll be doing today is continuing on with these big tiles. So one of the things that I wanted to look at this morning was I just want to improve how they look. So they're looking alright at the moment. One thing I want to improve on is these little segments in between the hexes. I want to give that the same drop shadow that the rest of the tiles have. So hopefully they'll look consistent and they'll actually look like one thing instead of this weird sort of like glued together type of aesthetic we've got at the moment. Still going to leave these gaps for later. Once I've done that, which I think will be quite a monotonous job, so it might take me a while, I'm going to just basically start testing it and try and break the system, because when I was testing it yesterday, things seemed to be working, and I'm very, very suspicious of that. There is no way that this is just this new mechanic just works. There's no way. I'm in absolute denial. There's no chance it just works. So yeah, I'm gonna find the problems and fix them. So I've finished up making the drop shadow for the little bits in between the hexes. I'm not 100% happy with it, to be honest. The shadow itself looks good, but all it does is sort of highlight that it's not smooth. It could be better. That's an awful zoom. I won't do that. Yeah, so ideally what we would like to see is sort of like a perfect inwards curve, but there's sort of like there's little dips in. It's just not as smooth as I would have liked. Yeah, I think I could do better. So you see, like, this curve here looks good, right? Because it's just flat and then the curve goes straight up into the next edge. But here, the curve goes in and then sort of like a little dip. And then the curve goes around. I don't know. I'm going to play around and see if there's anything I can do with that. Anyway. Yeah, so I'm just thinking about heading home soonish, but I've been making small improvements. So as you can see, I've filled in the gaps that we were having. They look a bit surreal now. It just looks like weird blobs. But yeah, when you click on them, it does look a lot flusher. The highlight still looks a bit weird with it now. It does look better than when it had holes. That was a bit of a faff. I've sorted out the other curves now for the other side. They're all looking good, so all the curves I'm happy with, which is great. But yeah, I've just spent the last hour or so improving the mechanism that we use to actually create levels with them, because they'll be making a lot of levels with these and we want to make it as easy as possible. So you should be familiar with this this sort of like painting stuff that we've got going on. But yeah, I've just been making it so that if you are painting a big tile on the tile grid, it automatically links the tiles together to form one big one. So that's instead of we having to create like a bunch of single like dotted ones like that and then individually go in and then set the big flag there. I think it is it works quite well. I need to test it properly still. But yeah, I'm just going to do a bit of tidying up in my code and then call it after that. It's Friday.
It's Friday.
You got the Friday energy, clearly. What are you doing?
Yeah, so mostly it's just going to be more colour pixels. Get as much as I can done just to get that sort of head start for next week. So yeah, get as much done prior to that. There is a little bit of hexceed stuff to do in that the DLC is going live.
Yeah, it's releasing today, yeah.
Yes, it is.
So you need to make the build live and...
Yeah, we update the patch notes to make sure they're correct. And do a bit of testing with the, well, what I'll be doing with the big hexes.
Yeah.
Multi-colour pixels.
Yeah.
What are you?
Yeah, so there's, I'm just going to try and finish off the big hex stuff. I'm really suspicious that it all seems to be working still. I'm going to build a few levels and actually put them in the game and make sure everything works, because I think there's going to be some problems with like the end of level animation and the loading back in animation and stuff like that. So I'm going to have a look at that. And you made a comment about it's difficult to see which ones are linked in the editor at the moment, so I'm going to have a look at that, which to be fair, you can't actually tell, can you? Yeah, so I made this test level to test out the big hexes. I just sort of like this pattern of these like triangle things. But yeah, it's been quite good to actually like stress test it. So there has been a few problems I've noticed. I'm sure you can see that there's this graphical glitch here. The segments between the hexes is sort of like overlapping the walls assets. I know why that is, but it's just an effort to fix. I'm just glad I'm noticing it now. A few other issues that we've had, the validator has been a bit iffy towards the end of the of when it completes the level, but I think I've fixed that now. Another problem is the clue button that appears, that's glitchy, so you see it popping in and out there. I'm gonna have to fix that at some point, but I'm just gnawing it down for now. Yeah, I'm glad I made this level, just stress testing a lot of stuff, fixing a lot of bugs.
A little update about Matt. Now up to 11 images in game. That's 3 new ones today. There's a picture of Thor. I'm not going to want to open them fully just to prevent spoilers, but you get the icons down here. So a picture of Thor, picture of a Kraken over here, grabbing a ship, and then this one which I've shown, Chinese dragon. Get a bit of cross-culture sort of mythology in there. Don't want everything to be Greek gods. But yeah, good progress. And we'll see how far I get by the end of the week. The weekend, Rob.
Is it?
Yeah.
We've had a good week.
Wow.
Haven't we? We've got a new mechanic in hexceed now, big tiles. Just been hard at work on that for me mainly. Yeah, I'm quite pleased the way that it turned out. It's probably going to be a bit easy to complete those, I think.
Yeah.
But we'll have to see how well it plays with the other mechanics. But just in testing I've done, it seems quite an easy mechanic, but a fun one. But yeah, I'm sure you'll get creative. But what have you done?
Yeah, pretty good. Obviously,
Common Pixels.
Common Pixels, yeah. Bit of hexy work earlier on the week, mini testing stuff just to get ready for the release coming out later today. And then the rest of that's just been Common Pixels, bit of a sneak peek of one of the images there. Just getting as many sort of mythology related images into the game as I can. That's 11 so far. That's really good progress.
Yeah.
We finish it off next week in time for the announcement. Probably announce that next week as well. Probably out for this video, so check that out as well. But yeah, it's just been a pretty steady week.
Pretty routine. Yeah, thank you for the Patreons and the Discord people. Still haven't hit the partnership requirement, but it's so close. Every week was so close to becoming Discord partners, but not yet. One day. Yeah, good.
Good.
Good. Good. We have to end on laughter, don't we? Ha 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 ha.